If the zombie apocalypse were to happen right now, what would you do? What would you need? Well, I can tell you one thing you definitely would need, and that's rules. Rules to survive in the zombie apocalypse. And what better place to get all of these rules that you're going to need for survival than Zombieland? And there's the field where we get rule number 1, cardio. Right after the opening title sequence, running from my right to left would be a zombie chasing a big guy. And unfortunately, the zombie gets him. And we find out you're definitely going to have cardio living in Zombieland. This is Lakewood Stadium. It's currently closed to public because they're having practicing and stuff like that, so this is the closest we can get.
Rule number 1 for surviving Zombieland, cardio.
For this next opening scene, we're here in Fairburn, Georgia. Now, this is going to be the scene right before the introduction music, I guess is what you would call it, would kick in, where you have For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica. You have all these clips of zombies eating people. But right before that, we're in a neighborhood. There's a birthday party going on. The little girls have all turned to zombies, and they're trying to eat the mom. The mom's in her SUV. She tears out from her house, goes across this little grassy area, throwing the girls off the car, and what she ultimately believes is she's getting away from the crazy children. This is the house right in front of you where the birthday party is taking place. Still looks the exact same from the movie. There'll be an SUV sitting here. Just to the left in this part of the yard will be one of them blow-up bouncy castles, a pink one. The car, or the SUV, is actually facing towards us, towards the street. And on this side is where the little girls are trying to get in. The mom would tear off straight across the little road here, just a little horseshoe.
As zombies began to outnumber humans, well, that's when you had to cut all emotional ties.
And she would actually head in this direction. Now in the shot, you don't actually see the gazebo here until later, but she would tear across right through here, throwing some of the girls off. You can see the houses behind her. You would see the SUV kind of making like a little left-hand turn here, and when it does, you get a quick kind of blurry shot of the rest of these houses. Walking over here to get the rest of this shot because it is multiple shots. But what I would imagine, they kind of shot the left side of the vehicle, did another take of shooting the back of the vehicle, they do another take of shooting this. So, you know, and then movie magic, they edit it all together. So we have to walk across this little quad area. It would be real nice if you lived here to kind of sit out here. And
could you imagine like living in one of these houses when they were filming that particular scene? And they're like, what are they doing? Because I think it's a minivan she's driving, isn't it?
I think it's an SUV.
Well, either way, you have this SUV and all these little girls. Like, I would be like, oh my God. like they're tearing up the grass. I hope they're replacing
They better replace that grass. You know I pay my HOA fees. As the mom is tearing across the quad in this direction, you can actually see this gazebo in the shot briefly as she comes across and hits the pavement here and goes to my right. But in the back, as she's coming across, you can see this house here. Right here. It still looks the exact same. You can see the garage doors are on this side, same color and everything, with a little bit of this brick house beside it. And to my left, on the other side of this gazebo, right here, this is where she would have left from. So we believe in all the shots, she would have come straight across, made a hard right, went around the gazebo this way, and then back out right here where I'm standing. She thinks she's got away, and as she looks over her shoulder out the back window, she's actually heading up this way, because you can actually see this house right here, and you can see where it kind of goes up a hill and around a curve a little bit.
You had to focus on your own survival, which leads to rule number 4.
Here at the intersection of Glade Bend and Village Loop, the mom believes she has gotten away from the crazy zombie kids. She would actually be coming down this road right here, still in the neighborhood. Now, you would think, according to the shot that we just gave you of her leaving the house, that it's right there, not too far from her house. But actuality, it's about in the middle to close to the front of the very large neighborhood that we're in. But she's coming from this direction. She looks down, kind of takes a breather just for a minute, and coming from my left is a work truck that would actually get right here in the intersection. And that's where she breaks rule number 4, seatbelt. And she would T-bone this work truck right here, come through the windshield, hit the ground here, and just slide. And you would see rule number 4, seatbelts, kind of written on the road. But I know this is the right area and location because you can actually see this brick house with the 2 columns here in the shot. You can see this house. You can see the stop sign facing in the same direction it is now with Glade Bend sign on top of it, street sign. And the truck is actually facing like this. She's coming here, boom. Should have wore your seatbelt. And while nothing's coming, let me slide out here because the shot would actually get like this. We see the truck and you don't see her car anymore as she's coming through the windshield in slow motion, landing probably right about here and just sliding. She would slide sideways. Rule number 4, seatbelts.
Pretty basic. Fasten your seatbelts.
Now this is one of my favorite movies. I love Zombieland. Love Zombieland 2. Hope they do a 3rd one. I'm a big Woody Harrelson fan, so having him in that movie just made it over the top for me. So getting to see these filming locations here in Georgia, that's up there. It's up there on the list. And you know, it's always nice when we go to places like this, doing filming locations, when you see that like not a lot's changed, and this is a really nice neighborhood. So it's nice to see that you can line shots up that, you know, everything just looks the same. It makes our job a lot easier shooting these videos. And it's just a plus when everything looks good, so. Now, let's head on to the next location. For Whom the Bell Tolls by Metallica has kicked in. Everything's in slow motion and we're seeing zombies run amok. We get a shot of this woman in a pink button-up blouse, sweater looking thing, slow motion, running from a zombie, throwing her what looks like a pink milkshake in the air. You can see this wall. It's the same color and everything. The only thing is that the name on it, the words, has been blacked out. It's a close-up shot of her kind of down. This sign is not there, but over the zombie's shoulder and underneath her arm when she's running, you can see this Chapman Drugs.
Biggest fight
We're here in Morrow, Georgia, where we get our first shot of Columbus. It's a nighttime shot, and he's pulled up to get some gas in Garland, Texas.
I think it's funny how he talks about how trash it is.
Yeah.
It's like, I want to blame it on the zombies, but no, it always looks this way.
Now, it's a high shot, but in the shot, we can see the white parking lines right here to my left. And as it pans down, we see Columbus, his car's parked right here on this end pump. And he kind of comes and walks in this direction and goes towards the bathrooms over here. But as it's doing that, the camera's kind of gonna pan around him like this to where you get a full shot of this little strip mall over here and this parking lot.
Yeah, the only building you can really make out, because since it's so blurry, is the one that's got the white top that's kind of like, like that.
Yeah, let's see if I can zoom in. Right there. You can make that one out in kind of the darkness. So after it pans around, he's headed to the bathroom. And here's the bathrooms right here. Now he's gonna try to go into this second one.
Patient Zero took a bite of a contaminated burger at a gas and gulp. Just 2 months and I might be the last non-cannibal freak in the country. I may seem like an unlikely survivor with all my phobias and irritable bowel syndrome.
He gets kind of, you can tell by the look on his face that something ain't right.
And follow the rules. My rules.
And that's when the zombie pops out, starts chasing him with the toilet paper still stuck to his shoe.
And oddly enough, they are actually bathrooms, so
Yep.
it's not like a storage room or anything.
And it's funny, you know, it's like, why the second one and not the first one? Well, the first one's the ladies, and this one's actually more gentlemen.
Look, in a zombie apocalypse, you go in wherever, especially if you got poop issues.
You still got to keep it clean. You never know. So the door busts open, and he's going to start running towards this parking lot. Now, this is where we get Rule 1 cardio. Because as he's running out, right here, where his car is parked, zombie lady. So now he's got two chasing him, as if the one wasn't enough, but he shoots that one, but she don't go down. He takes off running. Now the camera is facing towards us for this. It's a lot of camera movement shots. You know, doing these videos, these filming location videos, you try to line up as much as you can, but when you have so many moving shots, it's kind of hard to do that. So we're gonna giving you the low grade Hollywood version. Anyway, he's gonna go around this light pole. We see Rule 1 cardio flashing on the ground. He goes right through here, and he's gonna circle right back around to his car sitting on this outside pump. Can't get the car door open fast enough, so guess what? He's got to make another lap.
By this point, I would be just like, I've got to lay down. I got to sit down, take a breather. Zombie's probably going to get me. It's a game over for me.
That's why it's
I break Rule 1.
That's why it's rule number 1 is always cardio. So he makes a few laps, right? He finally sees the doors unlocked. He gets in his car. He's like, I'm good.
Mm-hmm.
So when we pan back, he actually peels out from right here, and he's gonna make a left, and you can actually see him going down this side on the other side of that white car, because you can see this little strip mall sign right here in the shot. And that's whenever he gets a surprise. Zombies in the back seat. Columbus just can't catch a break. He's got irritable bowel, nervous
I'm surprised
stomach.
at that point he didn't just like poop himself.
Yeah. I mean, after all that cardio, you know he's done worked something loose. So, Zombie surprises him and he cuts through this parking lot. And you can actually see this entire strip mall. We're going to get a closer shot. But the columns still look the same. The building still looks the same. And he's driving right down through here trying to get rid of this zombie. But he does remember rule number 4, his seatbelt. We're driving the same route as Columbus through the parking lot. You can actually see him pass all of this as the zombie's trying to get to him from the back seat. And then he's gonna pass all this just before he crashes his car and throws the zombie out the windshield. In the movie, it looks like Columbus drives a straight shot to slam into this side of this building and throw the zombie through the windshield and into the window of the store in front of him, where he climbs back out and eventually Columbus gives him a double tap. But in actuality, we had to come from over here around the building to get to our next shot. Now, right behind Renee is where there should have sat a building for him to crash into and throw the zombie out. The reason we know that is when the camera pans around to show Columbus getting out of the car, it's actually the side of this building right here. There's a dentist office right here on the end and another square sign here. And if you can see this handrail here. And if you look up on the sign, or up on the side of the building, I should say, you can actually see where there used to be a square sign right where this one is. And you can see the shadow where there was a square sign here also.
And if you look too, the way the building is made, like this square and the brick and all that lines up with the way the building looked in the movie.
So where Renee is standing would actually be where the car is sitting. So right here in this general vicinity is where that building would have sat for him to throw the zombie through the window, or out his windshield through the window. Then give him a little double tap.
Yeah. Because, I mean, a lot of the stuff for the movie was built specifically for their filming.
Right. We've made it here to the Atlanta Motor Speedway. This is as close as we can get because of the fence. But there's 2 shots here that we want to bring attention to. And that's where Tallahassee first meets Columbus and picks him up. And then again, when they are standing on the edge of the road looking down at the hostess truck where Tallahassee is praying, there is a Twinkie inside this truck. He also gives Columbus the advice of, have you ever seen a lion limber up before it takes down a gazelle?
You should actually limber up as well, especially if we're going down that hill. It is very important.
I don't believe in it. You ever see a lion limber up before it takes down a gazelle?
Of course, there's nothing in the hostess truck except for a bunch of snowballs. And as Tallahassee puts it, he doesn't like coconut, not the flavor, just the consistency.
I like snowballs.
I hate coconut, not the taste, the consistency.
This is as close as I can get, and this is as far in as I can zoom with this camera, but it looks like they're having some kind of little, I don't think they're go-karts. Look like they're small little cars. I don't know if you can actually, you know, come out here and rent stuff. I'm sure you can drive around the track, but this is a big track. My first time being here, and I'd love to see one of the races go on. But anyway, back to our zombie feature. This is it. Tallahassee and Columbus meet for the first time, and they're disappointed in the hostess truck. Or at least Tallahassee is. You know, Columbus kind of likes snowballs. What you're looking at right now is currently a church. But back when the movie was filmed, this was an abandoned building with one of the great scenes took place here. This is Blaine's Grocery, would have been right across the top right here. It would have been a high pan shot coming down, and we would see the caddy roll up right here, go around this handicap sign, which is still looks the same. Even the faded lines on the parking lot still look the same. And they would pull up and park right here where Tallahassee and Columbus are gonna get out and go inside this grocery store to try to find a Twinkie. Now, like I said, this building was abandoned during shooting, and they actually turned the inside into a grocery store. Now, as the camera pans around to the back of the Cadillac, and they're getting their weapons of choice out, you can see, well, hopefully you can see. Let me zoom in here. There's a house right here that can be seen in the shot when the camera pans around, and also when Tallahassee and Columbus are going inside. Whenever he stops at the door, it's time to nut up or shut up, the camera's facing this way, and you can actually see that house. You can see the white columns that are still on it. The house still looks the same, but you can see the white columns and everything. Fortunately, our camera doesn't zoom in far enough for you to get a good shot, and the sun is setting behind me, so that's kind of throwing the video off a little bit. But
Was finding a Twinkie. Something about a Twinkie reminded him of a time not so long ago, when things were simple. It was like if he got a taste of that comforting childhood treat.
Time to nut up or shut up.
this is where Tallahassee actually plays the banjo to call out one of the zombies. Fun fact, Woody Harrelson actually learned to play the banjo for Zombieland to be able to shoot this scene. One of my favorite scenes in the movie. Love it. Now, once they've lost the caddy, they're looking for another vehicle. We have a high pan area. Camera's gonna pan high, and as it's coming down, you can actually see these two street signs on the background say the same thing: East Court Square, East Broad Street, directly in the shot. Now over here, you can actually see the old courthouse. Now, of course, with it being summertime, the trees have bloomed out. You can't really see the front, but in the shot, you can see the columns that run up the courthouse. You can see all of the front of the courthouse. Right here in the middle of the intersection is a tan tank, army tank. And this is where Columbus and Tallahassee would be walking, and they would come right down this street to my left.
So he's on one of these serious Tour de France bikes, you know, with the like the toe holds, right? And he's pedaling, and the zombie's head is like caught in the gear.
Over their shoulder, you can see this sign that here it says Reese Opera House, but in the movie it says Bank of something, and I cannot tell you what it is because it's really blurry. It looks like it starts with a C. But right here on this wall is also a tan plaque that's supposed to be right here. They will actually make their way down the street, and when they get right over here, we'll give you a better shot, but when they get over here, right in this area is where they're going to see the minivan that Tallahassee thinks he's got to destroy to take his anger and aggression out on for losing his caddy.
Zombie kill of the week? No, sir. I saw this construction worker, I shit you not. He is on a steamroller, and a zombie goes down in front of him. You ever roll a tube of toothpaste up from the bottom?
The Tallahassee and Columbus would be coming from this direction, and right where I'm standing, when he jumps down off of beating the minivan up, you can see this double line. There's an empty parking spot here, and where this red truck is, this is where the minivan would be located that he's taking his aggression out. In the background, you can see all of these buildings. A lot has changed since the movie was done, but these little metal things under these windows can be seen in the background while he's tearing the minivan up, along with these little ornament looking, I don't know what they are, balls. They look like pawns and a chessboard. Anyway, this building right here would say the other side of the moon, while this one here would be the Three Sisters Bridal. Most of the buildings have changed, paint's changed, some of the windows have been redone, but those metal decorations and these ball things definitely still noticeable today from the movie.
Oh, I think I pulled something. You think the two of us are smart enough to come up with a con like that?
Tallahassee's taking out his aggression. They're continuing on in this direction. The minivan is behind me, looking for another sweet ride to take the place of the caddy that was stolen. Now they get right here at this intersection, and Tallahassee stops. He looks in this direction. He says it's better to be smart or lucky. So you think this is where they find the yellow Hummer, but as you can tell, there's no neighborhood down here.
There's some a little ways down.
I mean, yeah, but it's
not how it appears in the movie.
In the movie, they're in the intersection here, and it looks like he turns, and right here would be where the Hummer is supposed to be sitting. But it's not. Just a parking lot. Gotta love that movie magic.
Is it better to be smart or lucky? Look at what we got here.
Really, like, being here, downtown Noonan is like one of those picture-perfect towns. And it's crazy what they did to transform it in the movie, with all the cars and the, buildings looking dilapidated and stuff. I mean,
Trash everywhere.
It's night and day.
Gives you a better shot of the courthouse since the trees are kind of blocking it. But in the movie, when the camera first pans down, you would definitely see all of this. You can see all of the columns here. You can see the top of the courthouse. And it would actually pan down to Tallahassee and Columbus talking. I just want to give you a better shot. It's a nice looking historical courthouse.
This courthouse is giving me mad Back to the Future vibes.
Yeah.
Like, lightning might strike that clock tower up there. We might need to, like, you know, start some flyers and save it type thing.
You know, it's funny that you said that, because looking at the clock, I don't know how good you'll be able to see it on camera, but the clock itself does look a lot like the clock from Back to the Future. Like the actual way the clock actually looks, not necessarily the tower, but the way the actual clock looks just like the one from Back to the Future.
Yeah, it's almost like you're expecting to see Marty, you know, cruise by on a hoverboard or something. Wrong movie. Totally wrong movie. But, you know, he gives the same vibes.
Here on East Ponce de Leon Avenue in Atlanta, things have changed a little bit, but this is now an emissions inspection place. But this would be the gas station used when Wichita and Little Rock are doing their ring hustle, where she's looking for the ring. The attendant comes out like, oh, I'll mail it to you. And then Little Rock goes in and gets all the money out of the cash register from him.
I'll find your ring and I'll FedEx it to you.
I'll give you a reward.
Still be silly.
$3,000. It's worth more than my car.
80, 400. That's it. That's the whole register. You made someone very happy.
You show.
This is the angle you would have gotten from the movie. You can see this building in the background in the shot. And you can even see where the attendant would have came out right there. Still got the same bay doors and same old gas pumps. We're currently in Rutledge, Georgia, on the side of Atlanta Highway. What's so significant about this is actually 7181 Highway 278. This is the location of the Kimosabe gift shop, where we see Tallahassee, Wichita, Columbus, and Little Rock pulling in. They need to blow off some steam. Tallahassee's getting antsy. They pull in to the Indian gift shop and they start trashing stuff. You know, gotta blow off a little steam. Enjoy the little things. This is the Kimosabe gift shop that they would trash. Over here to my left would have been a big teepee sitting here. You can see this building in the shot, and then you can see this building in the shot when they first pull up, and it would actually say casino right here on the side of this. Now this is a Outsource America place now, but still got the same look, the same setup. Would have said casino, and right here is where they would have went in. This place was abandoned for a long time. It looks like it became an animal rescue, and now it looks like it's closed. But the Outsource America to my right is still active. Looks like whatever was in this building is now long been closed also. I think they should bring back Kimosabe. I don't even know if that was even a place, but if it was, I think they should bring it back. Put your TVs back up, put your neon lights back out here. Make it, you know, if nothing else, make it a Zombieland merchandise. Not 100% sure, but it looks like it may even still have the same lights from the movie, just missing the bell up over the doorway. Yep.
Don't mind if I do.
So the gang would have pulled in this way. You would actually get a shot from over here close to the road, kind of an aerial shot of them pulling in, so that you actually could see all three buildings, including this one that had casino written on the side of it.
That'll work.
Okay, but what the hell are we doing?
Just humor him. Trust me.
We're here on the corner of Tuxedo Road and West Paces Ferry Road in Atlanta, Georgia. We're supposed to be in Los Angeles for this shot. But as in all things Zombieland, this was not filmed in Los Angeles. It was filmed right here in Georgia. The reason we're supposed to be in Los Angeles is because if you recognize this house, you know this is where the man, the legend, Bill Murray, lives in Zombieland. But in fact, once again, this was filmed here in Georgia. But as you can tell, this looks like something Bill Murray would live in. This is a beautiful, beautiful mansion. Nice yard. Nice fountain. Looks like it's under construction, getting some renovations done. So, and it is gated as you would expect a house like this to be. So this is as close as we can get.
We are going to the tippy top of the A list.
Who?
You'll see.
This guy has a direct line to my funny bone. I mean,
Boy,
everything.
who's Bill Murray?
I've never hit a kid before.
This entire area is literally full of mansions. I mean, just over there you got where Bill Murray's house was. There's a mansion on that side of us. And then we literally passed the governor's mansion, like 60 seconds back up the road with cameras everywhere and a police out front. So it's an extremely rich area.
Yeah. All right, we have made it. We have made it to the end of the movie. We have made it to Pacific Playland. West Coast, baby. Well, not exactly. We're in Valdosta, Georgia at Wild Adventures, which was used for Pacific Playland. Gonna get some shots lined up. Hopefully the same rides are still here. Now I'm in here by myself because Renee didn't want to pay the extra money to get in here and get some shots. Because I had to buy a ticket, so it was $64 and change. But anyway, we're not here to ride no rides. We're here to line some shots up from the finale of Zombieland. Here it is, the first ride, Pharaoh's Fury. Now, Wichita and Little Rock, this is their first ride they get on, or it's the first one that they show in the movie. And it's here that they would see that turning on the power to this place has attracted a lot of zombies. It's almost like it's all downhill after that. Now, in the shot, you can see this ride next to a roller coaster and right beside a Ferris wheel. But as I look around, there is no Ferris wheel where this ride is located. And the nearest roller coaster is also not currently in this area. So I don't know if they recently moved this ride since the movie or if that was just a little bit of camera magic. So here it is, the Blazer Blast Off in all of its glory. Still the 3-seater. Now in the movie, it would be yellow in the middle and the whole thing would be white and the seats would be red. So as you can see, they've added a coat of paint. And after talking with a couple of the workers here, things have moved around since the movie, which has been a few years ago. They've added more trees, more greenery, fences. They've added new stuff to the park and everything else. So I can get you the stuff, but it's not going to be in the exact same location as it was in the movie. But here it is, the finale. Wichita and Little Rock are up and down, shooting zombies, a horde around the bottom, Columbus trying to come in and save them. This is the main event. This is where it all happens, right here. Blaster, blast off. Here's a shot of the Ferris wheel that can be seen multiple times throughout the finale. Pretty wild to get to be here in the amusement park where the end of Zombieland was filmed, you know. It's very hot here in Valdosta, Georgia, and my dumb self does have on all black. So, like I said, this park has gotten a lot bigger since the movie. A lot bigger. They've even added a water park here. So the two things that I'm having kind of a hard time finding right now is the roller coaster that Tallahassee gets on, because it doesn't go upside down when he's shooting the zombies, and the ride that he grabs a hold of that lifts him up in the air and he's holding on by one hand and he's shooting zombies. So the worker thinks that it's in the direction that I'm heading, but she's not 100% sure. So if we don't find it, we're not gonna hold that against her. It's pretty cool to be here. I thought this roller coaster to my right was the one Tallahassee gets on, but turns out it's not. It is one that you would sit in, like kind of have your legs dangle. So I don't know, maybe the roller coaster he was in got replaced. Still haven't found it yet. But it is hot. Have I mentioned that? Good grief, it's freaking hot. Found it. The Aviator. And this is the ride that would be going when Tallahassee starting to kill his zombies. He would actually jump this fence, grab a hold of one of the wings, probably right in that little side area there where it's got little holes, and it's taking him for a ride while he's happily shooting zombies. You know, the only thing I think would have made it better for Tallahassee is he would have had a Twinkie with him while killing these zombies. But here it is, Aviator, the Tallahassee zombie killing ride. The only thing missing from here in Wild Adventures, aka Pacific Playland, is the haunted house that Columbus goes in. Now that haunted house is actually Netherworld in Atlanta or in the Stone Mountain, Georgia area. They actually let them use one of their haunted houses for filming. So you will not, if you come to Wild Adventures in Valdosta, Georgia, you will not find the haunted house from the movie Zombieland. Here is the zombie killing roller coaster that Tallahassee gets on. This is the Marsh Mayhem. Now in the movie, you'll notice that the track was yellow. The cart that he rides in is yellow with orange trim. So it has had a paint job update to give it more of a swamp marsh theme. But this is it. He's on the roller coaster. He's killing zombies. He's happy. The man just needs a Twinkie. A lot of the games that you see in the movie, like the one where Tallahassee's shooting out of. He jumps through it. He's shooting the zombies, trying to give Columbus some cover in order to go save Wichita and Little Rock. That's not here. A lot of the other games and a lot of the shots that you see are not here. They've either been taken down or they've been turned into something else. So can't really line up shots here at Wild Adventures from the movie because so much has changed. But that's okay. The rides are still here, so if you're ever in the Valdosta, Georgia area, or if you're not there, you just like to make a trip, definitely come check this theme park out. Pretty sweet. Just from walking around here for the past, I don't even know how long. But they do have animals you can pet, you can feed. I've seen goats, I've seen other things, tortoises. So it's kind of like a smaller version of Busch Gardens in Tampa. And they have added the water ride, or the water park, the water park. So there's a lot of stuff to do whether you're coming here by yourself or with family of kids and everything. There were a couple shots that we tried to get, mainly the opening shots when the zombies are going crazy and Metallica's playing. We just couldn't get those because a lot of those were in the downtown Atlanta area and traffic was horrible, no place to park, so that's about the only shots we couldn't get.
So until next time, remember, cardio, seatbelts, and this really has nothing to do with anything, but a little sunscreen never hurt anybody. I'm Columbus, Ohio, from Zombieland, saying good night.
So in the words of Columbus, cardio, seatbelts. If you're in Georgia, definitely get some sunscreen. And remember to enjoy the little things. I'm Goat. This is Exit to Adventure. And we'll catch you down the road at the next exit. Later.